Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel of Evolution. My name is Shuby, and today we are going to dive into energy. Once again, we're going to talk a little bit about chi, and we're going to talk about cultivating energy and toxicity and how it hinders our energy. We're going to use this information to unlock the subconscious, bring it to the conscious, bring it back to our awareness so we can maximize our potential and become extremely high energy, vibrant, fired up beings. So here we go. We are bombarded with absolute garbage. I know I've talked about this quite a few times before, but toxicity is a major problem, and it's only getting worse. It's coming down all around us. You know, you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you use tap water, you got fluoride, chlorine, you use plastics to heat your lunch, you got parabens, and all of these other carcinogens from the plastics. And then you go out in the sun, and we're told that you got to wear a sunscreen, which is loaded with titanium dioxide and sodium benzoate and all these other nasty endocrine disruptors. And then, you go and you eat processed foods, which are low nutrition and have a lot of toxins in them, like aluminum and all this other crap. And then you use antiperspirant, which is even more aluminum, which is just nasty. And then you eat glyphosate loaded, which is also loaded with aluminum. And then you go and you get your flu shot, and well, that's pretty much already your max level of FDA recommended toxins like lead, arsenic, mercury, cadmium, etc., etc. And so you just put up this massive level of shit in the system. But our liver is an incredible powerhouse, right? And it can detoxify pretty much everything. And plus, our human potential is limitless, so long as we know how to utilize it and how to keep that balance right so we can process it and get it out of our system. So the liver has a set level of glutathione, right? And it's able to utilize this to produce, let's say, this much toxins. Now, so we take into effect everything that we put in. And the liver's like, all right, so we keep it here. Well, let's say throughout your day, because you take in so much crap, as we all do because we're surrounded by it, it goes to about here. Well, now you have this much to process, but you can only process this much. So, you still got this much over here that can't be processed. So what happens with that? Well, the body says, well, these ones over here are the most important. We cannot let these go. These are getting handled first. We're getting rid of this. And then we'll do all of this stuff that we can handle. But this little bit right here, well, it would be problematic because they are metals. And if they get placed anywhere into the endocrine system, or any of our electrical organs, they become a major issue. So what we're going to do is wrap them up in a cocoon of fat and throw them into some fat deposit somewhere in the body. Cellulite. This is where we see, and why it's that uneven fat and it's got like that dimply feeling. It's because it's not consistent. It's because it's not fat. It's a cocoon of metals and toxins that are being protected in this cocoon of fat to prevent them from getting into any of the electrical functionings of the human body. So once we start to mobilize fat, and if we ever give ourselves time where we're not eating more toxins and overloading our glutathione levels, or overloading our liver, if we're not taking in alcohol, which becomes acetaldehyde, which is even more toxic and constantly depleting our glutathione levels, if we give our body the nutrition and the time to regenerate, and if we burn enough fat and calories to eliminate the stored toxins and we can get rid of this crap, then we can start to master our energy, right? We increase our magnetic field because we are running at full capacity again. Now imagine the brain, the heart, all these organs are electrical functions, right? And they're constantly cycling. Chi talks about the body being a human battery. You know, we have the positive and the negative, not as a good and evil, but as an anode and a cathode, like in a human battery. You know, and the energy flows between them, right? And each one of our cells, cell signaling is a constant switch on and off, right? And that's how we send signals. You know, and the brain works the same way, the synapse. We're constantly like transistors, we're switching on and off. Now imagine this is your switch, right? They aren't connected. That's off. Connected, they're on, and that runs a current. Now it's supposed to be off, but you take a piece of aluminum, well now you got what they call a short. Now that energy is constantly flowing through and they can't do anything about it because it's shorted out. So you're losing energy. You know, you get in more and more and more and more and more and more and more of these shorts, your energy levels are going down and you can't understand why. You're tired, you're feeling chronic fatigue, you're feeling weak, depleted, your cognitive ability is hindered. You just feel like shit, and you should, because you are completely loaded with junk and your body is completely overworked, undernourished. And well, you just need to cultivate this energy back. And to cultivate this energy back, you need to rebuild, repair, maybe go through an outage, fix everything that needs to be fixed, pull all of these endocrine disrupting metals out of the system. As we start to mobilize fat, burn it, and bring all, what these toxins will be brought out of their cocoons and they'll be brought back into the system. So we're going to experience symptoms, right? Because the body's going to be trying to flush these out. So we're going to be creating mucus, and it's going to try to run these out, up the throat and out the nose, maybe even out the eyes a little bit. We're going to start to sweat. We might see rashes because they're trying to push it out through the pores. We're going to obviously be through urination and excretion. We're going to be expelling of toxins. We might be running certain symptoms like cough, fever, etc. because the body is trying to push them out. Once we get to the state of low or no toxicity, our energy starts to become increased because there's no more shorts. We're not wasting energy. We're starting to learn how to cultivate energy, and we're starting to become efficient because our system is running like it should. And we got all this energy because we're not wasting any. We are literally green beings. The Chi talks about cultivating this energy. And the reason a lot of these ancient monasteries followed so many practices of meditation and clean eating and all this other stuff was because it was necessary to cultivate their energy. And they're always circling, in their cartoons and stuff like that. That circle is a representation of the magnetic field. As we increase our ability to produce this energy and to cultivate this energy, and we don't waste it on external, giving it away, and we can do this with emotions, we can do this with shorts, like I said, in the cells, and then in the endocrine system, in all of these problems in the body trying to expel all of this junk. We're constantly working. If we're stressed, fatigued, all of these things can hinder our energy. But once you start to master your emotions, and you get up to this high vibration, you start to increase your magnetic field, and you start to increase your vibration because your frequency and your energy is up. Your emotions are up and equal to that. But when they're low, they're weak, they're unstructured. You ever see the work I can't think of his name, Mioto. I'll find it and I'll put it in the information. But look at the way he can say an emotion and it structures or destroys water molecules. You know, it's like you say love in this perfect symmetrical shape, strong architecture is beautiful. But when you say something like hate or fear, and it just breaks apart and dissolves. Well, that is happening in the human body with the energy, right? If we can keep that energy high and flowing, our magnetic field is wide, we just feel great all the time. We're fired. You know, you got it. You're just ready to go. You just wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go run a marathon. Why? Why not? Love life. Now, I hope something in this message was brought up and it hit you in the right spot. If you can take from this, clean up your diet, clean up your act, learn to harness your emotions. You can learn to cultivate that chi energy that they talked about. You can bring back that vitality. You can clean out your system, get your electrical components fixed, repair all of the short circuits, and bring your vitality back. Bringing your magnetic field back, harness it, and you are gonna become limitless and boundless. And the thing is, you were born to be limitless and boundless. When you were a child and you have all of that energy and just that, you know, you can't keep up with your children. Why is that? Because children are clean and pure and they have yet to be exposed to the garbage we've been exposed to over the period of time. That is what we are born to be. We are born to be high energy. Bring it back. Stay young forever. Why not? We just get to gain wisdom. But we just to, and our bodies don't have to age like we see them aging. We can remain vital and fired and wired. You just have to want to. And I don't know why you wouldn't. Once you experience it, you kind of always want it. And it feels incredible. I love you guys. Do your best to be your best. Become limitless.